and welcome to my first ever time playing iRacing Arcade. We're going to quickly jump into the career mode and see exactly what this game is like, if I can do such a thing. There we go. So, I have sort of been spoiled a little bit by seeing people's reviews. I haven't actually watched any long-form content and reviews yet, so I don't fully know how this game is going to be, but I know from the headlines it's got mixed reviews at the very least, so we'll go through it. But anyway, let's go through what it says on the career mode. It's saying that you'll enter a series. If you finish top 3 in a series, you'll earn the next series car as a gift. There we go, so make sure to practice. I don't know how the difficulty is set in this. The difficulty might be incredibly easy, it might be incredibly difficult, I don't know. I have done the tutorial, I say tutorial, but like a single kind of test, 2 laps around the track. I think it's a set difficulty. I'm going to try, I think it recommends that, so I'm going to try that one for now, and if it's too easy I'll bump it up, if it's too difficult I'll bump it down. We get a little animation playing, saying we are going to the track, which is something at least. Our first race is in Tsukuba, which is one of the cornerstones of, I guess, iRacing and many other games similar. I would say for me it's definitely most, well, noticeable from playing on Gran Turismo 4. So, a little about what I'm doing here is just to kind of get an idea of how this game actually plays. I've kind of been spoiled a little bit by seeing like the headlines and reviews, and they do tend to say it's not that exciting. It's very arcadey, which is, well, expected. It's called iRacing Arcade, but I don't know if it is, well, anything different than what the actual game is based on, which is Circuit Superstars, which wasn't obviously published by iRacing, but it seems iRacing has bought, I assume, the dev team. They've gone, we can slap iRacing on it. Is it worth doing such a thing? I can actually see the go-kart track from there, but can you see the oval? It does seem, though, that I have set the difficulty, well, at least what it should be. To be fair, Tsukuba has never really been the best track for overtaking at the best of times. If I'm correct though, usually we have to qualify, so it seems that the game has decided that no, we don't need to qualify for the first race, we're just going to go straight into it, which I'm not against. I know that it did like the same tutorial to see how good we are at it, and obviously impressed it enough to either bypass it or equally just, well, the game doesn't have it, I guess. Obviously, as we're not exactly playing iRacing, we can kind of get the elbows out and kind of treat it more like a heavy touring car. Assist-wise, well, I couldn't really see much on it. Again, it is being an arcade game, so you don't really want full simulators. There's nothing really telling me on speed or anything, so I don't really know if you can have the ability to change gears or anything, but I mean, first impressions, it doesn't seem too bad. It is very much like Circuit Superstars in, well, many ways, except for the perspective is now kind of more of a chase cam rather than just like an over-the-top cam. I know that there is somewhat of, I say in-depth career, but some kind of progression system where you find yourself starting off in, well, the barn, that's where we start off, and then we find ourselves upgraded, well, a kind of area to better things. I'm just trying to concentrate and see if I actually do get to third position, which it wants out of me, which I've done just about, so it's definitely the correct decision on the AI difficulty there. And it's got 2 nice achievements saying they've actually done something. But yeah, the handling is arcadey. I mean, I don't know if you expect anything completely different. I mean, the clue is in the name here. Don't know why the gap's -1. I guess it just didn't have enough time for them to cross the finish line. Doesn't... Okay, that's fair enough. Basically just give them points rather than just saying if you don't finish in the top 8, we just don't give you points. Oh, my favourite things. God, I sure love when that happens. Ooh, who doesn't love emoting? Generally feel like Fortnite has kind of ruined that. There you go, complete your first race, hurrah! Yes, end the weekend. So there we go. That was literally just a test. You can see our little shitty barn. Nothing too exciting now, I'm afraid. Next race is at Sugar Hill, which I believe is a made-up track. I mean, it's definitely possible to exist somewhere in the world, but it does feel like there's no branding, so it does feel quite made up. Again, we're attending on... I can imagine that these animations can get a bit boring, but something tells me that they are in lieu of a loading screen, which... yeah, that's fair enough. Would you rather have a stagnant loading screen, like a splash screen, or would you rather have some kind of animation? It's up to you, I guess. I don't think it's too bad. Something that, unfortunately, it does feel a bit upsetting is that there's a lot more tracks than cars, and of that being, I think there's like 15 tracks and only 8 different car variations. One of them being the Fiat 500, which we're obviously driving now, which is something. I wouldn't really say a Fiat 500 should be the cornerstone. If anything, it should be the MX-5, which is, in my opinion, the cornerstone of rookie leagues in iRacing. But then again, this isn't iRacing. It is nothing to really do with iRacing apart from, well, them using the branding, which is something I need to kind of get my head over, is that it's not iRacing. It never is iRacing. It's Circuit Superstars 2 with licensed property due to the fact that they're in, well, being supported by iRacing with publishing. But, you know, compared to that, it's not too bad. The AI is very slow in this track. So in the last one, Tsukuba, the AI actually gave up quite a bit of a fight, but here, nothing really. Also the fact that you can just simply cut the track also doesn't fill me with confidence. I can kind of see why the game gets mixed reviews. It's not bad. I mean, turning is predictable. It's not overly exciting, but it's absolutely predictable in the sense of you turn, you know exactly where to turn and where you're going to hit the apex. I mean, again, it being arcade, it's designed to be open for everyone, so you could basically go flat in almost every corner. I mean, I probably could have gone flat there. My brain went, nope, don't do that. And of course you can see the lovely advertisements basically being all of iRacing's other game IPs. Kind of strange how the AI was so easy to overtake at the start, and now they're kind of battling me. That's not too bad. That does feel more like adaptive AI rather than actually, well, a consistent AI. But I could be wrong. It could be purely down to the track that maybe Slipstream is a thing in this. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, whether to hold on wasn't the easiest thing ever, though. I'll give you the game credit for that one. It did kind of have some kind of difficulty, nowhere near as difficult as Tsukuba was, but yeah, these are the opening kind of tutorials, I guess. Default character, no customization on this one. I can obviously customize it, but I haven't, I should say. There is customization, both for the car and your, I'm going to call it avatar. Don't know if that's the best thing to call him or not, but I'm going to call them avatars. Not a huge fan of these. I mean, again, it being arcade, it is mainly designed for everyone, is probably the best way to say it. Got overtakes, completed overtakes, got some extra bonus XP, which I can only assume I can use to upgrade bits. A little bit of management, very basic management system. It's not exactly going to be, I guess, Formula 1 2025 on the levels of management, but then again, for the price of this game, you kind of would hope for something. You can see here we've got the garage, we've got goals, we've got calendar. We can move on to the next one, which is at Lime Rock, which is not a bad one. What can we do in the garage? Anything we can customize? We can buy cars. We cannot buy cars. We can't afford it, but let's look at the prices quickly. So, gold-wise, or currency, dollars, whatever money it's called, but it's got the dollar symbol, so dollar money. We've got, doesn't seem too exciting, but you can see here that this is the total, well, cars they got in the game, all 8 of them. Nothing too exciting. So you got from Fiat 500 touring cars, then we come on to which tends to be the main like grope of the game, being open wheeled kind of cars. We've got 3 of those different open wheels. We've got 2 Le Mans, 1 GT, 3 open wheel. Actually, there's 2 Le Mans S cars with LMP2 and the GTP. Yeah, it's fair. I mean, I would obviously wish for a lot more, particularly more options in like body shapes. So you might have, for example, I go to something like this. Rather than just being the Porsche 911, it should be a lot of GT3 cars. Maybe obviously you can get away with not having any more details on, say, Formula cars, because they're very much single, especially particularly the lower ones. They're just basically just given chassis, and that's about it, really. But I mean, it serves a purpose. And it obviously has some kind of marketing behind it, because Circuit Superstars was a very popular game. Well, was very good at the very least, and quite popular for what it was. Getting the little animation to... It's just a loading screen, which, thinking about it, rather than a loading screen, I'm not too disheartened at. maybe after this we can actually do some customization with the actual car rather than having a default car. Obviously it would be an arcade. It's not going to have laser scan tracks here, which is absolutely understandable and would probably make less sense in this style of game. So, show a single file, everyone's in single file. Do the AI battle each other? Well, yes, but also no, they tend to be more just bump out of the way rather than battle. I guess it is slipstream as a thing, and also health, fuel, and I guess tyre, where it is now in the bottom left hand. That's fine. I would like to be able to get overtake someone though, but considering this track seems to be very flat as the cars ahead of it decide that they will fully want to utilise the grass. Okay. I will say, and I mean this in a very polite way, this track is very much a flat-out track. The AI are all over the place because it's a nice, good battle going on. I do quite enjoy this battle. It's more pack racing. I would say it's more akin to NASCAR rather than, well, circuit racing, but regardless, it's interesting. Now the AI is incredibly slow. Maybe that is a feature where the first lap it's a set difficulty, set speed of the AI, and then depending on where your position is by the end of the second lap or a certain percentage of the race perhaps, then the AI will then adjust their speed in accordance, so you always get a close race towards the end. But obviously because I was in the 11th place going on to the third lap, the AI just suddenly, well, went very slow, shall we say. Not the greatest. We did get the fastest lap, however, but I mean, at least this time all the AI has finished. Yeah, we have, I don't know how many races are. I assume 3 is probably going to be the go-to for the initial championship, so we hopefully have won this one. Again, with the slightly, quite cringy animations. That will definitely not get annoying after a few races. We have leveled up. It hasn't really explained to us what leveling up does. I know that it allows us to buy cars, but that's only through picking cars. You're meant to have the option to upgrade your base. I mean, it does look very much like a tycoon theme park kind of game with the way that you can see the layout of it, but maybe that will become more of a theme park spin on it. Rather than being about racing, it's all about managing your local amenities of your race team, I guess. We have got a 4th race. It's not telling us, or maybe it will. Maybe it will. I mean, it's got all the goals here, which is fine. You've got campus. I guess this is just the goals and challenges for the entire career rather than just a singular one. You can see by there's a lot going on there. Overtakes, which is fair enough. Customization. Okay. I did misread that. I thought it said equip 3 unique visitors, so my brain instantly went to it is a theme park game. It's nice, it's visors. That's fair enough. Calendar would probably tell me how many races we have. That seems to be the end of this one. And then it shifts to these ones, but then later on there's the Fiat 500 endurance race, so these are nothing to do with us at the moment, but we can purchase the relevant cars for the season, I guess. So we've got one more in this cluster, which is that Maple Park or whatever it is, which is, I believe, the game own track. Finishing off of an endurance race, which is okay, fair enough, it is Maple Ridge, okay. Kind of want to call it Maple Valley after the Forza game series, but it's definitely not that. I mean, I assume it, or hope it's not that. I don't know how well Microsoft has protected there, particularly that Forza Motorsports is not going to be around for much longer, so very well it might be up for grabs, who knows. So again, 3 laps, no kind of qualifying, we're starting right at the back, so we'll see exactly, maybe, or at least hopefully we'll get someone a little bit further than 11th place after lap 2 to see if the AI does suddenly get better, or whether they get slower. But seeing that initially, that didn't feel real confidence with it, so the AI might be somewhat adaptive. It does also seem that there is some kind of drafting system, or slipstream system, depending on, well, what kind of place you are in the world. just using everyone there because, well, it doesn't matter. For some reason, we're not taking any damage from doing such a thing, so there doesn't seem to be any kind of punishment. I don't think fuel or tyre wear is either going to be a punishment either, so it is fair enough. It is what it is. Nothing too exciting, if I'm honest with you. We have lost first place, of course, on the inside there, which is fair enough. I mean, this track itself, we've only ever raced once, which was the initial kind of tutorial to kind of guess how quick you are. I assume that's what that whole point of that was. I mean, most games do that, where they'll have an initial race just to kind of gauge what assist you need and, well, what kind of driver I guess you are, what difficulty to set the AI to and everything along that sort. So we have got the lead here. Now whether we're able to maintain it or not is a different matter. I don't know if there's a look back button. I am going to guess that there's one of them. Is there a look back there? Okay, it's just a thumbstick. I am playing with a controller. I mean, I can only assume the game is designed for a controller. I don't know if you can use a steering wheel with this game. Possible, but I wouldn't recommend it. I imagine this is definitely going to be a recommended controller game. You probably could get away with mouse and keyboard, but then again, you could technically play, well, a lot of racing games with keyboard and mouse, but it's not recommended. So in first place after the second lap, will the AI get difficult, or will it just maintain its current pressure? Okay. Maybe Limework was just an oddity there, but then, who knows? Definitely something going on here, but the AI itself is kind of maintaining the pace they were. It didn't suddenly get incredibly quicker. Not that's even a string of words there, but it did get much of a quicker pace there, I guess probably better to say there. There we go, that wasn't too exciting, but it wasn't too bad. Maybe the difficulty is too low, but then I'm not dominating the pack. I am setting the fastest lap, I am able to overtake people, but then again, it's not huge gaps. I mean, nap time wise, we're only about half a second to, well, towards the back, almost 3.5 seconds, but only been 3 laps. You don't really need a hugely consistent grid. I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. It doesn't seem to be too bad. It just... For the price of this one, so I believe this is retailing at about $25, €25, and in my currency, £21, which in modern day gaming would say that it's not AAA, but it's maybe A or AA technically game. I would realistically, and considering that you get given cars as prizes, which is questionable because it kind of detracts the fact that you have money. I mean, it works with games like Gran Turismo Forza because there's such a wide variety of vehicles, but when you have a limitation of 8 vehicles, you don't really want to give people vehicles for free. You kind of want to have something to work. I mean, maybe there is something to work towards. Maybe the whole point of the game itself isn't. I mean, as you can unlock all the trophies, different things. There we go for bronze, silver, and gold. Yep, that's fair enough. We can now see our park management system. There we go. Welcome to the campus. Apparently, not park, it's campus. I do apologise. After each race, yep, you'll be able to manage your campus, buy new buildings each week with unique perks. Let's start with upgrading your garage. That's fair enough. Okay. Oh, I don't like that. Okay, fair enough. The building can be upgraded. You have multiple buildings at the same time, so we can upgrade. That is all the money, and it does feel very much like... So we can rotate it, which I don't know why we would ever want to do such a thing, but fair enough. We can place it there right towards the end. There we go. Okay, it's looking better. So that now allows us to have 4 cars, so already half the garage, the entire list of it. Okay, settings, I don't know what any of this does. It does something. So that's all of the money gone. Not really telling us what we can and can't do here. I mean, we can edit cars. We've got a nice touring car. We can... don't have enough money to paint it, but we can kind of play with the colours if you want to. Got your stats there, which is okay. You got your driver editing, which is you can pick your clothes, which you have to pay for, which I would rather it be cars you purchase rather than this kind of stuff. If it was down to me, I would make this type of thing, the cosmetics, things that you unlock from getting gold, silver, bronze finishing positions rather than the cars. But I mean, that's just a game design that they've gone with. So I guess that just changes whether you're male looking character or female looking character, but hey ho, whatever, it doesn't over matter to me. You got different visors. Again, this is all very much, considering that there's a lot more cosmetics in this game than actual cars. Isn't my favourite thing ever. I mean, I'm very much like focused on the fact that there just isn't many cars. Don't get me wrong, you don't have to have many cars. Many arcade games you don't need to, but with the price tag of this, you kind of expect more depth to it. I mean, you're probably looking at what expected game time of around 10 hours, which can be done. But we now move on to the calendar. I assume it wants us to go to this or something start next race weekend, I guess. Which is, is it gonna throw us in? It is. It looks like there's 5 laps this time. For some reason, it's put us down to amateur, which, okay. So we've learned that master is about where we want to be at. We will tend to win them all. We have somehow not upgraded. We've still got the same truck, but it's now an actual, well, more of an actual transporter rather than just a flatbed. But hey ho. Yep. I don't. It is certainly something. This is certainly something. We use the touring car based. I want to say based on the Audi, but I could be wrong. It looks like it's a hybrid of different things, but I assume it's primarily based on the Audi A4. I mean, it's definitely got a unique sound to it. Sounds more like a chipmunk in the car rather than an actual car when you hit the... I don't know how I feel about the flames like this. I mean, unless there is actual chipmunks, there very well might be chipmunks on this track, but it does sound like that is not a nice sound. If that is part of the car making that noises, that is not a nice sounding car. Considering that this game have been delayed by, well, 3 months. I don't know what it's been 3 months doing. I guess torturing chipmunks is one of the things they've done. I don't know if there will be music usually playing in this. Maybe that's something that they would add into this type of game to have kind of a more atmospheric. But I had to turn it off just in case that we find that there's some kind of copyright system in place. Something I found out the hard way from Le Mans Ultimate. For some unknown reason, someone has copyrighted the loading screen music, which is wonderful. But I digress from the beautiful way of copyright systems and moving on to the chipmunk car. See, I do appreciate the fact that they have made it slightly longer, which... Ooh. Okay. Okay. So you can get penalties. It didn't seem that was really going to be a thing in the previous racing series, but they've clearly put on this one. It's very strange, I'm not going to lie, it is a very unique-esque thing. And when I say unique, I mean there are more arcade racing games out there, probably about 4 to 1 compared to actual just generic AA or AAA racing games, which is, well, as you expect. I'm gonna say I don't know how this compares to other ones. I mean, you can pick up Circuit Superstars, which is, yes, doesn't have the iRacing affiliation, nor does it really have the same, I'm gonna say in-depth career mode, but I don't fully believe that one. I think it's more a case of we've added the ability to build theme park buildings and go from there and have unique perks or whatever. It just... I think the word I'm going to do, it doesn't have any soul, and I mean that in the politest way to this game. It kind of, it feels more like it was designed by a corporation, which is something that you don't usually get with indie games, or lower budget games, shall we say. It kind of just doesn't have that unique selling point to me. Don't get me wrong, it feels good, but the competition level is very much just, well, you got to chase down the AI. Okay, that's fair enough. That is effectively what racing games are, just chasing down AI. So we've unlocked a few buildings, I guess, that would benefit the car or something. I don't know, because everyone's cars feels to be very similar. Maybe that's something we'll find towards later on into the game, the career mode, that the actual we have to start upgrading bits to be competitive. I mean, what the prices we're looking at. So it does look like you get boosts. So you don't actually upgrade the car, you just boost it for, from what I believe I read earlier, temporary bit you could do. I mean, there's decorations you get, so you got. It does feel very much like a theme park kind of game. I like the idea. Don't get me wrong. I do like the theory behind it, shall we say? But yeah. I don't know. I have my thoughts and opinions on this game that I will do my best to probably make it some kind of video just to describe how I actually feel about it. But for now, I mean, that's all I'm doing. To be honest with you, is just giving my thoughts and feelings on it. But it doesn't feel like it has an amazing spark, if I'm honest with you. I just wish that it had soul. That's something I feel this is lacking. It does feel very corporate. It's not bad. It's not bad, but considering the price of it, I wouldn't recommend it at this price. Maybe if you want to play this game now, pick up Circuit Superstars is what I'd probably say. Again, there's no qualifying. We've just gone straight into the race, which again is fair, but we are somewhat into the career mode now. I was kind of hoping that we'll at least start seeing some kind of qualifying, which I know that does ship with this game. I would say it's a selling point, but I'll say thankfully that this kind of my experience of racing around most of these tracks they're quite quick, but I wouldn't say that's exactly a great compliment to give, is that well, at least the laps in races are short. And once again, we're now quite comfortably in the lead here. This is a strange one where I have kept the AI difficulty to a consistent. I've set it to master, not championship version, which is slightly better than this, but they just feel really inconsistent. I mean, this one I've literally almost took the lead within, what, a lap? Maybe a lap and a half, and now I'm just effectively running away. I've got one car on my tower, which is fair enough, but it's not really posing any kind of threat. The track that they picked here is basically flat, which is fair enough. It's not really a problem. I mean, this track is obviously a real world track. And we have actually got some kind of competition now, which isn't too bad. I have a little defensive there, but I don't know how aggressive the AI is going to be, or it's just going to do the typical AI thing of just bash you out of the way. I mean, we are in a touring car, so I wouldn't put it against it, but equally I wouldn't say that's a great feature to have. I think that's the very first time I've actually lifted off the throttle there, so after 5 laps. Oh, actually, I have to brake here, I do apologise. There is one corner, I'm sorry, there is one corner we have to accelerate for. Yeah, I mean, I've only been playing this for about an hour and I've already developed quite strong, not dislike, but it feels a bit cash grabby for my opinion here. I mean, considering that they did, well, delay the game by 3 months, kind of gave me hope that they were actually listening to the fan base after playing the demo, kind of listening to what people wanted, saying we don't expect it to be iRacing because it's clearly not iRacing, it's an arcade, it's a fun casual arcade game, but the thing that most people enjoy about casual arcade racing games is they're fun, and I'm not enjoying it. And I have no problem. I've played many racing games throughout my many years of playing games, but it just doesn't have that feel to it. Yeah, the car's predictable, the physics are okay, but the AI just doesn't give you any sort of competition. They just feel like they're there. It feels more like I am racing against, well, practice cars rather than actually racing. I mean, we leveled up to level 5, which means, oh, wow, look at all this amazing things that give you XP that levels up a fictional garage fun zone. I mean, look at this. Like, don't get me wrong, I like the idea of it, but this feels more like someone looked at an arcade game on a mobile phone and thought, that's a good feature. It feels like I don't know, man. It just feels strange. It feels like this probably would have been a lot better being a mobile phone game. Sell this on iOS and Android. What, $5? That'll be competitive. That'll be good. There's definitely a gap in the market for modern day racing games on mobile because there's mainly a lot of AI games and a lot of legacy kind of good racing games have kind of been sunsetted now. So there's a gap in the market, but why make it $25? That's not what I would recommend, but it wasn't my idea. Someone obviously up in the corporate ladder decided, yeah, that's a good idea. Imola, an actual good traditional racing track. I mean, they've all been sort of there, but we're not going to get the next car. Again, not a great fan of the idea of, maybe we'll try Superstar, we'll try it. We'll try it. Let's see how competitive they are. Hard difficulty. Is it just going to be a case of we just have to knock cars out of the way? Again, that's given a random position on the grid, which means nothing, but okay. I just find it so weird that it does sound like there's someone murdering a chipmunk when you get off the accelerator. Oh, okay, there we go. Now, do I lift off or do I... Okay, I guess it just automatically slows me down, which is fair enough, but... Okay. All over the place. Not necessarily a bad thing, the AI being all over the place, but... we'd rather not make it a habit. I mean, I have turned the difficulty up. It doesn't feel like it. Maybe the difficulty slide is just there for visual effect? Or maybe it is what I was thinking earlier, where after so many laps, the AI will then decidedly get quicker depending on where you are. I mean, that wasn't my fault, but obviously I imagine the game wouldn't say that. I mean, I can imagine that would be quite annoying, though, the fact that, especially online, I can imagine that would be very annoying online playing with someone, which, again, my very limited research into this, the online isn't really a thing, so there's no open lobby system, it's invite code only, which, for an arcade game, with a budget which I imagine is definitely in the millions of dollars, isn't ideal. I mean, they give themselves an extra 3 months to work out and actually develop this, and it doesn't feel like they have. Could be very wrong on the matter there, but... Now, will the AI try and knock me off the track again? Or will it knock me out of the way? There we go. I mean, it's kind of fitting us being in touring cars that we do kind of get the elbow out. Not so much with modern touring cars, I will admit. I mean, okay, was that a worthwhile effect there? I don't know. Okay, so I will say, I do kind of take it back. The AI is quicker, so that is, I will sort of have that out. The AI is quicker, so, okay, it's not just a slider, it does actually have an effect. That's a very interesting feature, the fact that you can quite literally get the AI... Oh, okay, massive slowdowns, like a... Okay, that's my fault there, to be honest with you. I kind of do deserve it. I deserve that. Okay, so definitely AI difficulty matters. Something that I don't think matters is the entire bottom left-hand screen. I don't think any of this matters. Fuel, I assume that does come into account in endurance races, but in these smaller races, that means nothing. I don't feel any grip drop-off, which means that the actual tyres feel a bit pointless being on there, to be honest with you. It should probably just be fuel in that circumstance. If there's no actual drop-off in grip, don't really need that option. It's kind of just cluttering up the screen, I guess. But I definitely do stick by my opinion. This should be a phone game. This is a phone game. And that's not against the developers, because I'm sure they were probably given a brief of what it should be, but it's backed by iRacing now. You should expect something a little bit more coherent than what this is. Is it fun? Yeah, but is it fun for the value, what we're putting into it? No, the price is not what I would say that is where the value is at here. Okay, so probably got the AI a little bit too quick, which is fine, I guess. Simple thing to do next is go to the next weekend. This screen is completely pointless for the moment, but I digress. Start next week. So you can just skip it. Okay, that's fair enough. For the next weekend, we're going to race. We have to gain 8 points to get the car for free. Again, that's not my favourite idea, but hey-ho. We will move back from Superstar to Master. Again, the price difference is really negligible, which is fair. I mean, it's very user-friendly in the sense that you don't have to be the quickest guy to get the best upgrades, but should there be... I don't know. There's so much point in it. Okay, so we are starting 7th. So we're going to have to basically win this then. With any opportunity, any chance to actually get the next car for free, we need to win. I mean, if we don't win, we'll have to spend some money on the car, which isn't the worst idea. That really weird noise just makes you feel like it's a really... I feel like the noise these cars make is a hybrid between an attack chipmunk and like a proper laser pistol for like a really low budget like sci-fi game. That's what it sounds like to me. Feels like a mod. Like a meme mod for like Skyrim or something like that. But no, low difficulty. So much easier. To the point where just over 1 lap it took to get in the lead. And we get shot at by the lasers. Almost left the inside open there. Not that I think it matters too much there. Oh, left the inside open there. Don't quite know where the AI's getting some of this grip from, but then again, that's not probably the worst of the issues here. And once again, we're out front, which is fair enough. There's a little bit of a pressure from behind, but nothing too aggressive. We can kind of just block him and that simply does it. Kind of, I'm going to use the word again, it feels soulless. It's just not, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not bad, it's really not bad. I can see exactly what the vision of this game is, but it just doesn't feel like, I don't know, man. Oh, okay, the AI didn't like that. It turns out you say the game's not very enjoyable and they will try and take you out. Maybe that's a feature, maybe it does have access to microphones and it listens to criticism, decides that if you criticise the game too much, it will try and dump you, which, do you know what? If it did that, that would be great, genuinely. An actual game that listens to your criticisms and decides it takes it out on you. There we go, finish. There we go, completed. Okay, did we get anything too exciting? Improve from, okay, 6th to 3rd. I guess that's in the standings. I hope that's in the standings. Yes, it is. So we got 3rd position, meaning we get a free car now? Although a lot of people did tie 3rd, so Although, I assume it'll just give it to us because it can. We've unlocked some milk. Amazing. Whoa! Okay. I assume this is the trophy. But it doesn't tell you that it's the trophy. I mean, to be fair, last time we unlocked a fountain. So, I assume that's the trophy. We unlocked some milk. Level up to level 6, which... Okay, it was the trophy. That's the trophy. So why did we unlock milk? Why was we given milk? What a random thing. It does... Okay, I give it credit for that. We unlocked milk. We've been given the car, so by winning that championship, we're getting top 3, we unlocked a new car. Can we build anything? Is there anything exciting? I mean, if you look at the engine shop, we can afford a basic engine shop. We're now turning into a theme park simulator again. Let's just build that there. Okay, yep, we've got some boosts by placing the building each. Yep, get a random boost. Okay, you can equip the boost and use once per week, so choose wisely. Okay, thank you for that, I guess. Let's look at my cars. Let's see if we can get some kind of nice edit cars. We've unlocked the Formula Junior. I mean, yeah, okay, that's not a huge customization. I know the fact that the whole change in paint is fine. This is just the base style of it, which is fair enough, I guess. I'm not gonna lie. The fact that they're all the same colour, and I know that's obviously a feature, it just doesn't overly appeal to me. I can see the potential of some of these schemes, but equally, you don't know exactly what it's going to look like until you spend the money on it, which, okay, whatever, it's fine. We'll just go with the iRacing. Let's just pick the iRacing one, sure. Let's pick some probably offensive colours by picking some random ones. Yeah, sure, what colour can we pick? Not overly user-friendly, I'll admit this is. I don't even know what I'm changing. What am I? I'm changing the colour of something. Oh, it's the wheels. Okay. Superb. How do I change more than the wheels? Because I click onto that, and I'm moving left and right on my thumbstick. I'm moving left and right on that. X, B, R. So that's a feature. I can only change the colour of the wheels. I'm pushing every button here, and nothing is changing. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. That doesn't mean anything. Okay, that's fair enough. That is fair enough then. We can just change the colour of the wheels. That, obviously this game wasn't delayed enough. Oh boy, okay, build an engine shop, yep, thank you. Week 9, new championship, new car. Okay, +4, sure. Yeah, we'll enter the series, race, the car with the green wheels, we can add that to it. I assume this is the boosters, it says you can have 2 boosters. Fair enough. Not that I think we really need it. I think this is more of just a gimmick, but hey ho, I could be completely wrong. I'm very cynical at the moment. I'm going to try and be a little bit more positive this time, shall we? Hopefully these cars no longer sound like a laser chipmunk. So yeah, boost. Our boost is active for the next lap. I mean, there's a boost and then there's just that. So they replaced the laser pistol with a classic gun sound. Sounds like it's backfiring, so all these cars now backfire. Fair enough. So this was quite a basic boost. Plus 4%. That doesn't feel like 4%. The fact that I could just go from basically dead last to first place in half a lap. It's certainly something. I mean, also positive. Oh, it's really great that the game allows you to overtake people so easily and in such an efficient manner. We've got the fuel, which is 6.6 laps. Not that it matters, but it's fine. It's good that it's there. I'm happy that the information that is completely relevant is there. Thank you for that. And we're kind of backfiring our way around there. Looking at the mini-map, Did I leave the AI on rookie? So it should, I would hope, auto reset to what I had it to, but it doesn't look like I have. I could be completely wrong here, but looking at the gap, it looks like it did default. I mean, of course, day one, they're expected to be some bugs, but the fact that it forgets the difficulty you want to be set to, that doesn't fill me with confidence personally. I would hope that it should remember, rather than have to manually set it each time, because, well, you'll do exactly what I've just done here, which is not set it, because why would you expect to set it? That should be just a default option where you have the option to change it in the menus, but hey ho. Please don't have to hit everyone else shoot their backfire as well. Although this can now become a challenge, can we lap people? That could actually be quite an interesting challenge here. Are we able and skilled enough to start lapping people? Someone else is playing Rocket League. It's not a bad option, to be honest with you. It does feel like some of the handling heuristics have been stolen from Rocket League. Again, that's probably not the best compliment you can ever say. I mean, Rocket League is very predictable. I mean, it's a competitive game, or it was a competitive game, but yeah. So to make up for this, what I'm going to do next time is I'm going to set the difficulty once again to a superstar and see if we're competitive again. We're in a completely different car now, so maybe the handling characteristics of this car makes it slightly easier to race in superstar, at least from my skill level. Maybe not, I don't know. But yes, we have effectively just started to lap everyone, or effectively can lap people if we had a little bit more time. Not saying this is a bad game, I'm just saying at the price, not the biggest fan of. Again, first place. What do we get for that? We get a nice little cutscene with people jumping up and down, which we're skipping because I do not want to see that anymore, thank you. Same points. Oh, here we go. Can I skip this? You can. Okay, thank you. At least that's something. You can skip these cutscenes, and although this is running on an SSD, it is very, very quick to get through. There's not a very long loading time, which is good. I'm glad of that. Let's see what we can do. I'm just going to go straight to the next weekend because we've got some money, but I don't believe we can buy cars yet. The next car knocks at team level 7. Okay. Then we have team level 15. So why? I guess it's... yeah, that's fair enough. So for some reason my brain's... yeah, okay, whatever. So, we got this Porsche, we got this, we got... yep, okay. Whatever, that's fair enough, but we haven't unlocked any of that right next week, race weekend. Again, no qualifying, we've got engine power plus 2.5% the entire time now, so it's not just a start. Tsukuba, very much enjoyed that track, but I'll see how it goes on this one. Put the engine upgrade in, we'll continue that one. It was set to amateur. Don't know why it auto defaults to that, but that's a feature. It's a day one feature. Here we go. On the hardest difficulty with an upgrade. So you're not instantly overtaking everyone, which is fair enough. It was definitely my bad for letting the game auto default to a low difficulty. I mean, it is somewhat true to life, I feel, this track. I mean, you know that it's definitely Tsukuba. I can actually see some, like, animation, so you are slipstreaming, so it is definitely in this game, which is good. We can see if we can maximise it. would say I could change the colour of the cars, but I can't because it didn't let me do it. I can only change the colour of my wheel. As just all chaos is happening there. That is something. Definitely more like a ping pong ball. Ping pong? Something like that. Pinging around. Yeah, just my brain feels like I've been in a crash there, to be honest with you. I wasn't going to say pinball, I said ping pong. Oh, we are closing on them again, but obviously it's been too little too late here. So it does feel that I'm not quick enough for this particular skill level of the AI, but the one below it is a little bit too easy. But don't get me wrong, I don't expect a sliding scale because that's probably too hard to implement, but it does feel with the simple 5-option difficulty set. I imagine a lot of people will probably fall between two if there's that much of a jump between them all. Considering the slowest difficulty, you're about 5 to 10 seconds a lap quicker. So effectively most people are going to sit between skill rank, well, where I'm at. Between Master and Superstar. Particularly when you can't gain too much time on tracks because you're effectively full throttle the whole time. So we're going to come dead. Oh no, it was going to come dead last until the AI decided to cut the track because it got knocked off. Okay, 11th position. There we go. Time-wise, I mean, somehow the slowest car, well, the guy that finished last had the quickest lap time, which, okay, whatever that happens. Lost 2 positions, but still in the position to get the next car for free. Level up, so we can now actually get the next car, but we're going to get it for free anyway, free finishing the top position, so, okay. Next time. Moving on. Next week. We have money, so we might as well spend it, I guess. Not on the options menu. I don't know why I defaulted to that, but hey ho. Build. Let's go for a basic chassis shop. Again, just it doesn't really matter where you put them. I mean, it looks a bit stupid now I've done that, to be honest with you, now looking at it, but I don't imagine I'm going to spend too much, pay too much attention to it. Next week, let's move on. Some XP randomly appears. Next week, nothing happens. We've now got 2 upgrades to pick, so grip or... Okay. I don't expect to be overtaken, so let's just go for the upgrade. Race. Formula Junior. I don't know why it gives you the option to pick your car, considering. Unless there's multi-class. There might be multi-class. That could be interesting. Upgrade, we'll have for that one. And we can take both upgrades. So, why wouldn't you, I guess? Superstar's a bit too hard to master. So, there is the 5 options. Amateur is incredibly slow. I've not tried Pro, but I imagine it's just a little bit quicker than that. Pro, okay. I don't know, man. I think that's something I might spend a bit of time going around and actually fixing difficulty settings. Instead of having load on the screen, we get this, which isn't actually a bad feature. I actually kind of appreciate that. I don't enjoy looking at this because it does feel a bit buggy, but it is better than having just a splash screen. So, that's fair enough. And also, the idling noises in these cars aren't horrendous. I mean, they're not great, but they're not horrendous compared to actually racing terms. It's a very unique, I say unique, I guess it's a unique feature of this game, the fact that you do have, okay, not the penalty system, but the fact that you can upgrade, say, your chassis shop or whatever, and it gives you perks to use in race. But I'd much rather the AI being competent rather than you need to have perks to be competitive, I guess, in harder difficulties, but... Obviously, with the fact of this being an arcade game, you can literally just nail the throttle and nail the brake. You've got no chance of having any issues there, but what more do you expect? That was just an amazing lunge attempt. Didn't even hit them. Didn't even plan on hitting the apex there. Feels more like Dodgems at the moment, and we do have open wheel cars, so you okay. Back to being the pinball. Okay. I mean, it's obviously my job to rejoin the track, but that's something. I mean, is it a feature? It's questionable. You can always tell when I lift up the throttle because it does backfire. I mean, that is such an upsetting way to have a race that we were battling for the lead. The AI decided they wanted to play ping pong with me, knocked me off the track so far that I couldn't gain any time, and then suddenly I'm so far back. I'm just gonna bash him out of the way. Also the fact that there's no real substance to this equipment. You can't pick and choose where you're racing or anything like that. It's purely just a case of this is the championship you're going to enter and you're kind of locked to it. Like, I'm all for games having some kind of structure to it, but this is very, very on rails to the point where it kind of takes away any kind of customizability in the sense of what do I want to race. Yeah, there you go. Next time your series sensor drops. Okay, fair enough. As I say, it wasn't overly my fault on that one. I was kind of taken out by the AI, but it is what it is. If the AI want to dive bomb me and push me off, then so be it. I guess racing standards in this game is non-existent. Once again, it puts me... I don't know why it does it instantly. It instantly starts me off on that option. I don't... It feels... I've been saying that a lot recently, it feels. I feel like that's... Again, I've said it again. It's just weird. Skip another week, 2 more boosts that have randomly been generated for me, which is fair enough, I guess. We can race it, Lime Rock, so it's another flat out session. Didn't even warn me, just let me bypass it, so it wasn't like you got boost unselected, just sure. It did remember to put me in Master, which is basically something. Yeah. The career mode, I'm gonna say, feels very, very, very flat. Unless it opens up, what I'm gonna do is how I'm gonna test it, because it does, I guess, pre-allot you the opening series. Maybe it opens up. Maybe you get some kind of like branching career path coming up soon, where you get a whole option and manner of choices of things. Because it does look like we get to do a Fiat 500 endurance race, which is something. I'm hoping the AI is not going to suddenly start to dive bomb and take me out here. It's always possible. Thank you. Do you have a little attack on me again? Yep, there we go. That's fair enough, I guess. I had to give him the space because otherwise he would send me to that out of space. And yet, I can just slipstream back. We've got some lovely sponsorships on the outside for arguably better games, but then again, some of them are actually, I'll give you that. Some of those games advertising are better. Particularly that one there, iRacing. It does... I'm gonna say, and it was something I was thinking earlier, it feels like iRacing is doing itself an injustice by slapping its name on here. It shouldn't be iRacing's Arcade. It should just be, say, Circuit Superstars 2 or a completely new IP, and it'd be like, it's been published by iRacing. By putting iRacing as its title, you kind of assume better, and when the game, which is, well, it is, it feels like it's underperforming, it kind of makes iRacing itself look worse. It feels like it's having a similar issue I've noticed what happened with Project Cars 3, which was, it would have sold a million times better, it would have been reviewed a million times better if they would have called it Shift 3, or even if they didn't call it, if they called it its own game. but by slapping Project Cars 3 on, you get an idea of what it should be, and when it doesn't turn out to be anywhere near the quality or the experience we expect from it, like this is just... I know it's nothing to do with iRacing apart from them publishing it, but you kind of feel and you kind of hope that something is there, and it just doesn't have it. Like, I say it's a problem. It's obviously down to the devs and, I guess, the publishers probably put the requests on here, but it feels like they're using the iRacing name to sell it, but it's not. The game should sell itself, is my opinion. I've got more milk because we came 5th. Okay, thank you for the milk. The game should sell itself better than this. It doesn't need to have iRacing on it, because effectively by having iRacing on here, you expect a certain level of quality, certain level of simness. I mean, obviously it's an arcade game, so you don't expect a sim, but you kind of, I would hope it'd be more polished than this. It's been delayed for a prolonged period of time. I mean, it had 3 months delay on it, and even then, I don't know what they added to it. You can still feel that there are bugs in it. It doesn't feel amazing. The fact that it auto-sets the options every time, the fact that every time you do a new series, it auto-defaults to a really low difficulty. Let's see it. So this is a brand new quote-unquote series. Is it going to put me on the lowest difficulty by default? And the answer is... Oh, I'm going to put this on quickly. No, I actually remembered this. So that's not a good sign either, because at least if you could predict that it was going to reset you after every series, at least you're aware that it's going to do it, rather than it does it sporadically and randomly. You're going to set it to the wrong difficulty by mistake by just clicking, well, A or X or whatever, because you just want to bypass it. It's a default menu. It's not interesting. We're going to see how this is different to the others. I imagine there's going to be pits in it. We'll see how the pit system works in this. It's a good test to see how that's implemented. Obviously, back in the Fiat 500s, which... I mean, it's not bad. I don't have a problem in the Fiat 500. It's just a bit of a weird thing to kind of have time learning all these other cars and then suddenly getting put back into the slowest one. But once again, I guess that's the slipstream ability I have here, so I can actually kind of overtake people a little bit quicker, which isn't a problem. 15 laps. I mean, that's a lot of laps. And you would hope for endurance racing with 15 laps. I would hope, and I'm going to say that the AI puts up more of a fight rather than just being a case you can overtake them, and the only opportunity for them to overtake you is by pushing you off the track. And when they do look underneath or outside or wherever, but all you need to do is simply block her and they'll give up the overtake. The only real option for the AI to overtake is by pushing you wide or you letting them do it. I mean, that's the end of lap 1. We have overtaken way too many cars for this being an actual endurance race. I mean, don't get me wrong, when I first started streaming this, I had opinions on it from seeing other people's, other people's reviews. I saw the cliff notes, shall we say, of people's reviews and kind of saying, okay, it's very arcadey, I expect it. But I'm okay with it being arcadey. I have absolutely no problem with it being arcadey, but when it's arcadey and they promise all these features that just don't seem to deliver... I mean, the idea of the arcade, the actual career mode seemed amazing. The idea that you have to build up a team, you have to go through this, you have to upgrade bits, you have to buy bits. That's a great idea. What an amazing feature for an arcade game. It kind of gives it more depth. But the fact that once they get, even that is so much on rails is unbelievable. When the upgrades seemingly have very little effect on anything, it just doesn't feel great. The whole practice of this game just doesn't feel great, and I can see on Steam that it had mixed reviews, and I can see that a lot of people were giving it negative reviews for the handling physics, and yeah, the handling physics are not great, but it's an arcade game. You don't expect amazing physics, but I mean, compared to the other games I've been playing that are cheaper, they actually have somewhat better physics. I think it was like Super Woolen, that's one of the games, I hope I've pronounced it right, Super Woolen 2 GP or whatever. That one is such a better game than this, and it's cheaper. There is almost 200 cars. The career mode is so much more advanced. It kind of, I mean, it's based, I kind of had the idea of, let's look at a game, like, for example, say Gran Turismo 4, let's make that for the 21st century, but on, well, I'll say 21st century, but like, I don't know, 2014, 2013, but let's put, I don't know, an indie budget onto it, and it works really well. The cars feel great, the AI is competitive. This one feels like it's the devs' first time. I mean, I don't really mean to the devs, but for the price they're charging, for the lack of content they're charging, you get basically, you expect a level of polish, you expect a level of finish that this just doesn't feel that it has. I mean, yeah, they can't make a move there, that's absolutely fair enough, but the fact that I can just drag race it shouldn't be a thing. I should be able to battle properly rather than, well, the AI just doing things like that, and then I can just do that to it. Again, arcade, you don't expect anything more, but I mean, for the price, for the quality you expect, yeah. It does annoy me. It does frustrate me. I wish it was better. Thankfully, things like Steam refunds exist. I will make my opinions on a video. I mean, if you are watching this stream, you have probably a good idea of my opinion on it. But not that my opinion should matter to anyone, but I'd hope the gameplay and the idea of watching the career actually gives you an idea of what it's like, and kind of makes you think, don't buy it unless it's on sale. It could very well be one of these games that give it a handful of months, maybe a year or so, and they could make a huge turnaround. They could put a lot of time into it. They could, whether they put more cars into it, they like develop the career mode, this, that, and the other. But unfortunately, what I imagine is going to happen is wait 2 months, 3 months, and guess what they'll do? Rather than they'll do some small patches, of course they will do. But what they'll do, rather than fixing it, they'll put DLC. Oh, there's 2 new cars, and it only costs $4.99. Like, that should have been part of the base game, because the base game's lacking. Hey ho, that's just what we've got at the moment. Fortunately, the world of well, racing games tends to be. We were looking like it was going to eat very well, and then a lot, and I mean a lot, of last year's racing games that came out were just subpar. We got Rennsport that came out that was just a huge money grab. I mean, you can name quite a few other games that are in a very similar situation to that. Is it Project Motor Racing? I pre-ordered that one because I got sucked into the hype. Thankfully, I knew that Steam refund existed, so the idea of pre-buying or anything isn't that too bad. I think I just refund it, which is exactly what I did. Didn't even install it. For a second there, I thought I'd push him into the pits, but he obviously is pitting because he's running low on fuel. That's fair enough. Maybe he can try and undercut me. If he does try and undercut me, that wouldn't actually be the worst thing I've ever seen. I'd actually give that on credit there. That could quite well be quite interesting if they try and do that. Sure, we'll pit. Is there any kind of pitting? Oh, okay. Okay, so there's no... Okay. So, there's no warning or anything. I've not had any tutorials. I can just do this. I can run... Okay. I mean, that's something, I'll be honest with you. Didn't expect it, didn't unexpect it, but the fact that it lets you drive in the pits is something. There was no tutorial on it. They didn't give you any information on it. It was just like, it's your turn to guess what you're doing. Okay. I can understand it to an extent that you can do that. You can reverse in the pits. There's no penalty. You can probably speed in the pits, except for it does actually limit you. I would like some kind of delta that tells me if I'm closing into the guy in front of me, but I don't have that. I've actually got a mini-map to kind of guess and, well, see where we are. So here's turn 1 as we hit the start-finish line, basically. So this time next lap we can work out from there. I lied, it was a differential. It's 2.1 apparently. I don't know if that's between my fastest lap or whether that's between him. I would prefer to be more visual on the screen rather than in the lap, because there's so much empty space on this screen that could be utilised better, I'd assume. There's also a lot of nonsense on the screen as well, but I digress. Unfortunately, going back to what I was saying earlier, I do have a feeling that yes, there'll be some updates, and some things will be improved, some things will be looked at, and that'd be great. But then they'll come back with a "Welcome to the Season Pass." But please don't do that. Please do not say that a game with hugely lacking content, you can then say, do you want to make this game look more playable and actually have more content that should have been in from the release? Yeah, pay us more money for it. I really hope that's not going to happen, but looking at modern gaming, it's going to happen. Watch this space, watch it happen, and watch no one buy it, and watch it be a massive flop because of it, because I think a lot of gamers nowadays are sick and tired of this. We are, as a collective, we're just tired of making middle of the road games and then charging a lot of money for it, and then expect modders or other people to fix it for them, and then when the game's somewhat playable, they, rather than say, okay, we'll make this free, we'll make it better, we'll just add stuff that should be included in the base game and charge you for it. I really don't want it to happen, but I think it will. Also, somehow the fact that the car behind is now battling us, it kind of feels like the slipstream is quite strong on us, but I guess that's to try and make some artificial kind of competitiveness. We are most definitely closing on the guy ahead of us, although we are somehow losing about a second and a half a lap. So maybe it is purely down to a slipstream here, I don't know. I don't think we're going to be close enough to actually make a move on the guy ahead of us, but I think second place should be good. Unless he makes a mistake, but I don't know if they will. I don't think the AI is programmed to make mistakes quite like that. It's more of a case of they make mistakes because they bump into someone else. I would say I can hopefully dive bomb the guy ahead of us, but because it's effectively flat out everywhere, you don't really get the option to do such a thing. Okay, what an interesting way to do it. I mean, that was absolutely fair. Make a move, final lap. That's absolutely fine. I have no problem. That's actually quite good racing there. We're now slipstreaming the guy ahead of us with half a lap to go, or less than that, so we've literally come up to the finish line. We lost. Okay. We got second place. It's not too bad, but yeah. Make 20,000 earning. Okay, thank you for that. Did he just dab? Did my character just dab? Did I just see a dab? 2026. Why are they dabbing? Also, why are we getting points when it's a single championship? But fair enough. Anything? No congratulations. Just you're done. Moving on. Like, okay. And then put me back up here again. What does it look like now? Now that we've completed the season. Now that there we go. Please tell me. Okay, there we go. So this is now telling me where we finished. Okay. Thank you. So it does open up. I like that. So it does open up, and you've got some options here. That's better. So that looked like it was a very, very long introductory kind of tutorial career thing. So if I pick that one, will it let me race? No, it doesn't even have the car. So you can rent the car, or you can buy it. Okay, that's not a bad feature, but considering that there's not that many cars, let's just go free play. Let's go for, I did test earlier, let's try that one. Let's try the, well, the best prototype out there. I assume it's based on the Porsche. I don't think it mentions it, but I'm pretty sure that's the Porsche one. Is there a preset? I don't even know what that means, but sure. I mean, I know what preset means, but I don't even mean in terms of this. So you can set a career, so you can actually have, like, I guess, a career. Or a championship, I should say. Let's look at some ones we haven't gone. So we've done a handful of these tracks. It looks like a lot of the more enjoyable ones are just we didn't do. Yeah. Let's do a cut out of me then. I like that one. I like this track. So to finish off, let's just do this. Let's just see. I don't imagine anything different, but from one extreme to the other. To maybe that was my fault, because I could have sworn that I picked. I guess I didn't pick. Did I not pick? I thought I did. I thought I picked this because I remember saying it's based on the Porsche. Because I had that there. Unless I changed it by doing this. But I want to try this. So make sure it's definitely the GTP car. I definitely got the right track. Hit start. I might turn up in the correct car, or is it going to be the Formula 1 car again? Okay, is the correct car. Maybe that was my mistake, or maybe, I don't know. So, here's what we should be having, which is qualifying. Now, something that's been missing in the actual open section of this game. So the ghosting, which is absolutely fair enough. I have no issues with them ghosting. I think difficulty's been set to low. I mean, this car doesn't sound too bad actually compared to all the other ones. I mean, that's not saying too much, but it does have a little bit better sound to it. Obviously, it's not amazing. Handling wise, oh, okay. So it actually has auto spin. So we are going back to the 90s with a lot of PlayStation 1 and even PlayStation 2 games having auto spin curbs. Not a hugely negative thing, but definitely interesting. I mean, I'm gonna say it. It does have a unique handling, but I wouldn't say it's hugely different. Not that you expect anything different. I mean, obviously, again, arcade game, what do you expect? It's not going to be a huge difference. And yes, the AI is set to their standard slowness, so don't expect anything too competitive here. I'm testing more of what the cars feel like, because the AI is going to be the AI. No matter what difficulty or no matter what track or what you're racing in, the AI is going to be limited to how they're programmed, whilst individual cars will have individual, well, perks and uniqueness to them. So this doesn't feel horrendous. I'm going to say this is the first time I've actually noticed there's actual rumble on my controller. So I'm using an Xbox, well, I guess it's the Elite 2 controller or whatever. There's some rumbling, but then again, it's 2026, you expect rumbling. Maybe, I would say, maybe if I had a PlayStation 5, maybe I would actually have adaptive triggers, but let's be honest, that is definitely not going to be a feature in this, is it? It's not going to be a feature. I'll be impressed if it is, but I bet it hasn't. We're now waiting for everyone to finish qualifying. Again, doesn't tell you that. The first time it did this to me, when I had my 1 and 8 practice, I assumed that's what it was doing, was waiting for the AI to finish. Didn't tell me. I think that's another brilliant example of this particular game. Is it's an arcade game, so it's designed to be available like to everyone. Everyone can play it. Everyone has the ability to pick it up and play it. It's very inviting, whether you're a skilled like sim racer or whether you're just someone that's picking up their first ever like racing game. It doesn't tell you what's going on. Obviously, I know what's going on because I've been playing games for years, but if you were, I don't know, a 5-year-old and this is their first experience in playing on their brothers or parents like PlayStation 5 or Xbox, which I assume is what people might be playing it on, you're not going to know what's happening. You're going to need to have someone explain to you what's happening. And that's, for me, a little bit of an oversight. I don't know if there is a tutorial. Maybe they've turned it off. Maybe because I did such an interesting start to the career where before it put you into the main menu, it kind of put you on like a 2-lap like qualifying session, see how skilled you are. And maybe I was quick enough that it just assumed that I know what I'm doing and didn't want to ask me, do you want to see the options? It just put me straight in there, which maybe it does that. But most of the games I've played, even if you're incredibly quick or skilled or whatever, it still would ask you, would you like the tutorial, just in case. Didn't get asked that. I mean, the handling of this car is absolutely fine. I mean, it is very more unique than the other ones, but you can still fling it in like all the other cars. Even though in theory it's a lot quicker and should have a lot more downforce, but it just understeers, same as the other ones, if anything. Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely fine, but for the price, it's absolutely not fine. I think that's going to be my final takeaway, as we're literally going to finish this off and I'm going to have my final thoughts and opinions, and then I'm going to end the stream. At some point tomorrow, I will probably edit something, probably take the footage of this, put some overlays in this and explain the game, and give some kind of review. But in my opinion, and from what I've seen with a lot of other channels, this needs work. You can clearly see what they aimed this to be, and that's no problem at all. We can clearly see what was the envision, what they aimed, what they wanted to see this game become. But it just feels like they've missed the mark a lot. They missed the mark by a lot. there's just not enough content track-wise. I'll say track-wise, there's absolutely enough content. They've got a lot of licensed tracks. Okay, they might not look very similar to what their real-life counterpart, but that's the art style of this game. Absolutely fine. Tracks numbers, good. That's a thumbs up. That's a positive. Thank you for that. Good number of tracks. However, number of AI on track 12, yeah, the tracks are small. They're already bunched themselves up, so you don't really want 1 and 12. That's whatever. That's okay. Would like the option to change it, but that's fair enough. Number of actual cars in the game, 8. Not enough. Don't get me wrong, even if you just take a standard car, create your own unique car, doesn't have to be any kind of model, just give someone in the modelling department, the actual graphic department, give them a couple of days to design a default car. Don't have anything special, literally take a normal car, so take the Porsche and make, we're going to take the Porsche as a base, we could add a couple of details to the Porsche and we're going to call it a Porsche, and that's another car in that car class. Oh, as AI actually made mistakes there, that's interesting. And that Porsche is going to be a competitor to the other cars. Same class, still going to be GT. Oh, is there pits? I guess we have to pit. We'll still be... Actually, no, I'm going to see what happens if I don't pit, because they're pitting. I'm going to see what happens if I don't pit. Even if it's like, say, it's a GT car, whatever, there'll be more GT cars, more variations, so you can kind of pick your favourite one. It makes it look a bit more realistic, a bit more interesting. The fact that they limit it to only 8 cars, and 3 of them being open wheel cars, and that's fine, I don't mind it being open wheel cars, but it just feels like they could have done a lot more, but they focus more on licensing cars rather than actually having unique cars out there. It's an arcade game, you don't need licensed cars, you just need things out there, just some kind of career progression, not just saying if you come third place in the career you instantly get the next car for free and then have money in the game that has very little to no impact, but oh, you can spend the money on upgrading your theme park. Oh, sorry, theme park, I meant like your base of operations, that's it, definitely not a theme park. Put the money into that. Oh yeah, and what does that do by upgrading those? Does it make it's visual? That's good, so you can have people come around and visit. I like that idea a lot. Oh, but guess what? Oh yeah, what's that? Do you get any benefits from it? Yeah, we'll give you random boosts and stuff. Oh, okay. So it becomes more arcadey than usual. Yeah, that's fine. Are the boosts good? They're random. Okay. Fair enough, I guess. But yeah, that's the end of my ranting on that one. That you can tell that for the price of this, it has riled me up. It says I did it my way. I wish I could. I really, really wish I could. It feels way too on rails. It feels way too generic. And for the price, which I'm going to keep coming back to because it's $25 for this, it seems like they focused way too much on things that don't matter and didn't spend enough time on actually something that does, which is it fun? I'm going to say no. The fact that the AI there had to pit whilst I didn't isn't a good feature. The fact that they've made endurance races, but effectively all it is one car stick up your behind you, basically follow you, attempt to make some dive bombs or overtakes, but simply you just need to cut them up and that's ending. That stops the move. The fact that the AI will all dive into the same corner, push you out wide, and you get a penalty for it isn't great. And to be honest with you, the same review I'm going to give it next time is basically 5 out of 10. It has ambitions that it just cannot reach. It's okay, it's fun at points, but it most definitely is not worth the price. They've done the exact same thing as about Project Cars. They slapped iRacing on it, hoping having iRacing on it is going to help sales. It may help sales, but people are going to realise it's not great, and all they're going to do is refund it, and it's going to damage the overall brand of iRacing. It's not the right way to do it. And as someone who has done business, or at least studied business for quite a long part of their life, I could tell you, without being in business, without owning $1 million company, by putting your brand at stake over something that is a risk, it's just not worth it. Don't put iRacing in. You can say developed by iRacing as a tagline. That's absolutely fine. Or not developed, but published by iRacing. But by putting iRacing front and center, you are putting this game under fire. And in putting in positions, like trying to make it more competitive and put it into competition with other games that would just absolutely blow it out of the water. So I'm going to end it there. Thank you ever so much for watching. I do apologise that this has been so negative, but it's just not very good. And I'm going to tell you something now. I am going to refund this game now, because not the fact that I didn't overly enjoy it, just the fact that it could have been so much better, and iRacing is just hoping to milk this game, and I don't want them to be able to do it. I don't want game developers to simply splash a well-known brand or a previously well-known IP and just hope that's going to make them money. It should be based on the game, not the title of the game. But as I say, that's the end of that. I will edit this, obviously have different voiceovers, it won't be me chatting as badly throughout it as messing up there. But that'll be a video going live probably tomorrow, I'd imagine, once I edit it all out, give my review. But spoiler alert, it'll be about 5 out of 10. I might change it, might sleep on it tonight and think about it, but it's going to be about 5 out of 10. I would say if you want to buy it now, buy Circuit Superstars. If you want to play this game in the future, probably give it a few months, wait for the next Steam sale. I imagine the Steam summer sale might be a good time to pick this up. But as I say, thank you ever so much for watching, and apologies for this not amazing live stream, but thank you ever so much for sticking around and watching, and until next time, goodbye.